Good morning. This morning I'm going to demonstrate how I cast on is what is called a pinhole cast on for the project that I'm teaching, a felted project bag. Project, repeated. Let me show you what the bag is going to be looking like. And it's basically this little project bag with these loops so we can attach a handle to it. I have there's several colorways that this yarn comes in. This particular yarn is felt beautifully, and we're going to be making one of these. This is what it looks like before it's felted, and that's what it looks like after. I embellished after it was felted and added these removable handles, which are also very handy. And basically that's what the project is. This is a different colorway. They're just very handy to have just enough yarn or enough space for a little project. Put your different whatever you need for that project. Now here I'm making these little flowers to embellish with. I'll have a separate video for that, and basically that's the exercise this morning. So the yarn is this Lane's du Nord, which is 100% mucilage free mulesing. Oh, that's hard to pronounce for me. Which is a procedure they do in Australia, and I'm very glad that it's sheep friendly. It's made in Italy. 200 grams, which is 200 meters, which is basically 219 yards. We're going to be using only one ball of this yarn. And this is the colorway. It's a pretty big ball because it's a bulky sort of yarn. But it felt like magic. It's wonderful. So in order to knit this small circumference, at the beginning, we're going to be using 2 circular needles, size 11. Now, just not to confuse myself, one needle I've chosen to have a bamboo, size 11, and then the right needle, size 11, the left needle is much smaller, probably a size 9, it looks like, and there's a reason for that, but I'll explain that as well. So then the other one is metal, so when I'm knitting, one needle, the metal and blue cord is going to be one side, and then the bamboo is going to be the other side. So I'm able to knit a very small circumference. So this will be just basically the cast on for this project. And I'm going to be using, get rid of this little example. This, of course, is a much smaller gauge that I did for, actually I'm making a red beanie out of this. It's the same cast on. It's pinhole, so I can close this opening at the very top, very small. But this is much smaller gauge just for the video. I thought I'd show it. So that is that. And now the pattern, I'm going to have it written out for the class and step-by-step instructions, but for those of you, I'm going to just walk you through it. We're going to cast on 8 stitches on with a crochet hook, and then we're going to transfer 4 stitches on one needle, 4 stitches on one circular needle, the bamboo, and 4 stitches on the other needle, which is the metal needle. So let me just write that so it doesn't become confusing. So this is the bamboo, bamboo. I had a slight accident with my hand, but it doesn't hurt. I just have this bandage on it in case you're seeing it. So this is the bamboo needle, and this is the metal needle. So I have now cast on 8 stitches with my crochet hook, and then I transfer 4 stitches to the bamboo, 4 stitches to the metal needle. Okay, and then I knit front and back each stitch, which will end up as 16 stitches. So, which will give me these 4 sections with 2 stitches in between. Many beanie patterns or circular patterns start this way. And then we're going to be increasing 8 stitches every other round. So 2 in each section, which will make it 8. And one will be make one left, make one right, make one left, make one right, make one left, make one right, make one left, make one right. And then around that you don't increase at all. So it becomes 8 stitches per round. So when after casting on 8 stitches, transferring them to my needles, knit front and back on each stitch, we're going to have 16 stitches. Then we increase 8, 24, 32, all the way to 88. And then we're going to knit 52 rounds with 88 stitches. By the time we get to the 88 stitches, the project will be large enough to knit on a 22 or 24-inch circular needle. So we don't have to keep doing the 2 sets of needles. The reason we do the 2, so the circle can get bigger, starting small, and it can get bigger and bigger. So here's the cast on. It doesn't really matter what size crochet hook. Obviously, it needs to be large enough to accommodate this chunky sort of yarn. Let me get some yarn out to work on. Okay, so slip knot. I'm going to leave a long enough little tail here to pull, not too long, just about 4 inches. So here's my slip knot onto my crochet hook. Oh. No, not a slip knot. We're doing, I'm so silly. We're doing Emily Oker's cast on, so it's the magic loop. Okay, so yarn goes in my palm, like so, around my 2 fingers, and I'm making an X. There's an X with this yarn front. So one more time. Yarn in the palm of my hand. I'm holding it down with my thumb. I'm bringing it around and crossing, and then I kind of hold it with my ring finger. And then I take the bottom yarn, pull the top yarn through. I let go of that loop and take the working yarn, not the tail, the working yarn, and I'm holding it very tight right up here, and chain 1. Now it's going to look like this. My tail is inside that circle. Pull it out. So test it to make sure it can go smaller or larger. I don't need very large. Okay, so that's 1. And I go in the middle of the circle, under both the tail and a circle, pull up a stitch, pull up a loop, and chain one. So now I have 2 stitches on my crochet hook. Go under both of them, pull up a loop, and I'm holding it right up here and chain one, only through that one stitch. So now I have 3. I need to make 8. So now pull up a loop and chain 1. Okay, a circle, I can pull that, yes, it's a magic circle. Pull up a loop and chain 1. So now we have 2, 4, 5. We need 3 more. We need 8. Pull up a loop and chain. Pull up a loop and chain. 2, 4, 6, 7. One more. Pull up a loop and chain. Okay, so now we have 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches, and the tail and the working yarn and my magic loop right at the bottom. And now I'm going to transfer 4 stitches on my metal needle. So I'm going up to the opposite side of the crochet hook, to this side, and transfer 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it to the middle. It's a little fiddly, but do it slowly. And then the next 4 stitches onto my bamboo needle. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to tighten it up. And now we have 4 of the stitches on one circular. Hold on, let me get this crochet hook out of my hand. So here's what we've got. The working yarn right here. Four stitches on the metal needle and 4 stitches on the bamboo needle. And then I'm going to turn it, push all my stitches to the smaller needle. Make sure I'm on the metal. Now my tail is on this side. I'm going to take my tail behind the needle. And now I'm going to knit front and back. So I knit the front leg, and then I knit the back leg, and then take it off the needle. It's 2, front and back, front and back, and front and back. So now I've completed the metal needle. I'm going to let go of it, pull the work to the cable part, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches on my metal needle. Now I'm going to turn it around, pull my bamboo, the smaller bamboo needle, over to the knitting position. The tail will be on the left, the working yarn is on the right, and we're going to knit front and back, and this time with my bamboo needle. So I'm going to, now if you don't have a set of bamboo needles and a set of metal needles, you could probably mark one set with nail polish to make sure that you see the difference. If you don't have interchangeable needles, then you won't be able to do a smaller needle on one side and a larger on the other. But it's all very doable. Everybody has different style. This is what works for me. So now I have 8 stitches on the bamboo needle, 8 stitches on the metal needle, and I have the cast on little tail over here with this little hole that I can pull and close. And I'm just going to leave it be for now, because later on we'll just need to pull it, so just leave it. So now I've increased, knit front and back, and now I'm just going to knit a plain round. So here we go. Knit, 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 knit. Notice it's both needles are metal, so I'm not making a mistake and knitting on the wrong side. That's kind of a signal. But if you're alert, everybody's different styles. So for me, this is what's working. So there we have the metal needle. Then I turn it around. And now I'm going to knit with the bamboo needle. Put the stitches on my needle. Bring my working yarn from this side to the back of the work. Take my bamboo needle and knit every stitch. Kind of pull this tight together so you don't have ladders. It doesn't really matter as much as it would on a different project, because this is going to get all felted and it's going to end up the very bottom of this project. Here we go. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 8 stitches on each needle. And I am ready to start my increases. So 8 and 8 is 16. So I have 16 stitches total. Now I'm going to increase every other round. As I showed, I'm going to make one left, make one right on each section. And that's the cast on for this wonderful project bag. That's going to be the very bottom of the felting. This is where we start and we increase, and the whole thing is going to be felted. Happy knitting, and we'll see you next time.